holy ground of St. Anthony's.
Good afternoon, one and all. It's indeed a pleasure to be here today. I must say, it's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of reminiscing. Obviously, we have good memories of our past coach, Mr. Nigel Grovey.
Yes.
The foundation, the man who laid the foundation here. So let's just hope these teams continue the blueprint that we had here and continue to build on it.
Well, of course, when you come to this facility, you think about Nigel Grovey, and as Joel rightfully mentioned, this is the field that he made his name as a coach. And of course, his memory still lives on here with us at the SSFL.
Well, before we move into today's matchup, let's look at the results from round 2. Well, looking at Group A, St. Benedict's College was able to get 8 over Carapachima East. Fatima College in form, being able to defeat defending champions Naparima College 2-1. The in-form Speyside High School 2-1, defeating St. Anthony's College, and St. Augustine Secondary's match against Pleasantville had to be postponed and it's rescheduled for October 1st. Looking at Group B, however, here we have Presentation College being able to defeat Malik Secondary School. QRC finding their form against East Mukarapu with that 5-0 win. The goal scoring machine, Sawa North Secondary School, were able to get 13 on Chaguanas North Secondary, and the Trinity College East defeated Maruga 3-0, which brings us to the standings on the actual table right now, Brent.
Of course, when you take a look at the standings, out of Group B, San Juan North Sec on top of the table with a goal difference of a whopping 17 plus after 2 games. Presentation College and Trinity College East closely followed. When you look down at the bottom, of course, Maruka Secondary at 0 points, as well as Malik Secondary. It must be noted that they were deducted points for, of course, disciplinary reasons from the SSFL. So they go back to 0 points despite their victory over Chaguanas North Secondary.
Well, Joel, let's look at the table. Your actual team is in
yes.
Group A.
Yes, and it's Speyside High School. They're on top of the group right now with 8 points.
Yeah.
Followed by St. Benedict's with 4. Fatima College in 3rd. Yes, at least to see a North Zone team up there in the rankings now in the early stages going forward.
All right,
yes.
Well, they're followed by Naparima College and St. Anthony's College at number 5. What can we expect from today's game, guys?
Well, I think when you look at St. Augustine, of course, the first game was not the way they would have wanted it to go. And then they would have had a bye in the second game. So I'm extremely sure that Coach Tacoma and the rest of St. Augustine would have used that day off, of course, to prepare themselves for this afternoon's fixture. So it may be a good thing that they would have had the game suspended because of a waterlogged pitch, because they're coming up against, of course, St. Anthony's team, who is in red hot form despite losing to Speyside in the last game. But this is difficult ground to come to play on, and St. Augustine knows that.
Well, St. Augustine also knows that they have a new coach in Tacoma Jones. We had a chance to catch up with him before today's matchup, and this feature is brought to you courtesy First Citizens.
We are basically starting from scratch. We are basically using our under 14 players, all right? And it's really a challenge, right? But we will get there. This is my first experience in the helm here, and I am looking forward for this experience, and it's basically a joy for me here. For my first time, I know a lot of people are looking out, to see what I could bring to the table, and I'm gonna bring it. The dominating teams basically would have had their players moved on to scholarships, etc. Also, some of my players moved on to scholarships, national teams, etc. So I think now that everybody has their under 14 teams or their Form 1 teams to work with, the field has been leveled. To me, training has been a little bit challenging because a lot of them are not familiar with structured football in terms of the fitness aspect of things. Yeah. The SSFL football especially gives them an avenue to release. Some of them come from communities that they don't see any other way. Here at St. Augustine, we think about family, right? So they know when they come to play football, it's a family, it's a love. Every weekend they have a game, so they're excited to come out to games. They're excited. Basically, when I had to make my first cut, everybody was like, I'm crying here already. I don't want to leave the team, etc., etc. So they are really excited to be on the field, and they're really excited to give it their all to perform.
They're really excited to be on the field. Tacoma Jones, head coach of the Green Machine. Brent, let us know about the pressure on this coach's shoulders.
Well, it's a challenge, of course, a first-year coach with, of course, an inexperienced team as well. But what I do like, guys, is the optimism. There's a lot of optimism presented there by Tacoma. And more importantly, I think he's looking to use some of the positives that come out from the games to build upon. He's going to have a difficult season, but if he keeps that mindset, I think he'll be fine.
Well, we'll see if he will be fine against St. Anthony's College. We spoke to their assistant coach, Coach Weeks, before the game today. And this feature, again, brought to you courtesy First Citizens.
Other than the Pro League, this is the next highest level. And you need certain players. You have to have guys who know what they know how. You don't need all the best players, but you have to have all the team players. The last season, where we won the national title, the guys have an idea. Like the young guy named Miller, he's supposed to be the captain this year. He's a nice little prospect. And they have a winning attitude. They work, they drive players, helping with the coaches, because you can only coach, you know. The other leaders. To the school and the young guys, they're enthusiastic about it. Some guys training and they know it's going to be hard for them to make the team, but they still come, so it's a pressure off the kids. You could see that in all sports, they just want to be a part of something. They're ready to go. Although we know technically they ain't ready yet, but they want to do the thing, and as a coach with experience, I'll give them the chance. We had to make mistakes. Let me see what's the mistakes. But just the youths to be happy to play some kind of sports, that's good. To me, this is our last line of good stock in football. From under 14 up, we have a good breed of players. The coach is still doing the thing. So, to me, there's a big plus. So I glad it up and running.
We can actually hear the St. Anthony's Tigers pre-game chants right now. We heard from assistant coach Weeks. Joel, your thoughts?
Yes. Well, I must say, the good thing is we'll have some form of continuity, because Mr. Ronald Daniel, the head coach, is on St. Anthony's old boys. Mr. Weeks has been around with Mr. Groves now. So at the end of the day, we will see some form of continuity of the football, and hopefully we put passes together, string it together, and give a good performance.
Well, there's no question about who you're supporting today. Well, we look forward to good performances, because when we come back around, it's kick-off time. But before we go any further, let's look at today's fixtures.
And if they're not ready, we need to know these things in advance so that we know how much time we have to fill.
Welcome back here to the St. Anthony's College grounds in West Moorings, and we've got some real action here for you today. St. Anthony's College coming up against St. Augustine Secondary, and it should be a real corker of a game. Of course, St. Anthony's on home soil, and it's the Tiger Tang Secondary Schools League. This is round 3, and one would have to say that St. Anthony's should start as favourites. They won their first game against Pleasantville, but fell just by 2-1 against Speyside. Speyside, who seems to be red hot this year, and it's certainly no disgrace for St. Anthony's to lose to them. So they will be coming out here today to avenge that defeat. But the question mark, you have to say, is against St. Augustine, having been defeated 9-1 by Naparima. We have to wait. The second round game was postponed, so we'll just have to wait and see how that will affect them. There's some of the teams warming up before kickoff. We're slightly delayed. We're supposed to get underway at 3:30. The teams are in fact lining up to come out, so we should get started shortly. But there are some of the teams in their warm-up before the kickoff. A lot of preparation, warm-up by both teams, St. Anthony's and St. Augustine. Alongside me, of course, is Joel Gibbons and Brent Sancho. Joel, good afternoon to you, and of course, welcome to the broadcast. It's going to be an interesting game, but you have to say your old school, St. Anthony's, must start as favourites.
Yes, Colin. Good afternoon, everyone out there, and have a good afternoon to wherever you are watching this game today. Yes, and I must say, Colin, I think so. Well, as you said, they lose a hard one in Tobago against Speyside. They actually went up 1-0, and Speyside came from behind 2-1.
It's always difficult going to Tobago. I've always said that over the years. Physically, the Tobago lads somehow seem bigger. Their football, though, over the last couple of years, the Signal Hills and the Bishops seem to have gone down slightly. But Speyside this year have certainly picked it up.
Yes, Colin, as you said, somehow of the lesser-named teams have now found themselves at the fore. And I think it's a whole recycling of maybe the players' network and the players available. So now you are finding these schools populated with maybe some of the bigger, better talents, where they traditionally would have been the Signal Hills and whoever, again, across there, Scarborough Sec, But now we are seeing these schools come to the fore, and which augurs well for development.
It certainly does. There we're seeing just the teams just sort of getting ready to come onto the field of play. And but you look at the green machine, and I was shocked when I saw that result, 9-1 against Naparima. And I heard the coach talking a little while earlier about it's a development team and under 14 team. Let me tell you something, you don't bring under 14 team and play in this kind of league, because you're looking for trouble. Hello, Brent, how are you? You're laughing. You would have loved to play you would have loved to be playing first 11 against under 14 team, wouldn't you?
Well, it was a bit surprising to hear that, I must admit, gentlemen, because at the end of the day, we all know what this SSFL means in terms of the type of players that you need to participate at this level. This is the Premiership level, of course, as we see the teams walking out. And for the coach to admit that, I think it's a difficult situation, not just for him as a coach, but for St. Augustine Senior, because as mentioned in the build-up, St. Augustine is one of those teams that has always been at the top of the SSFL. Yeah. So it's very strange for us to see them at this stage here in the competition.
And based on what he has said, Brent, they're going to probably struggle for the season. You don't see, somehow you never think of St. Augustine struggling in the SSFL.
No, they haven't. And you look for keywords, of course, as we look at the officials. Caleb Wells, who's off to the World Cup, gentlemen. And of course,
Kurt Charles with him, and CJ O'Brien is holding on to the whistle.
Yeah, an experienced coaching staff. But as I was saying, it's such a strange occurrence, because as you rightfully said, you listen to some of the words and you don't really see a silver lining at some point, because we know players are still being registered, of course, with the CXC exams results coming out, people still trying to get into schools, but it don't seem that that's the situation.
Well, let's have a look at the lineup. St. Augustine, the Green Machine, they line up with Delise, Andrews, Ferdinand, Williams, Piper. Well, there's Jabari Williams and Killan Williams. Then there's Cooper, Jagroup, O'Brien, Nicholas, and Telesford. And the coach, of course, is Takuma Jones. He's making his debut as coach for the first time this season, so we'll have to wait and see just how well he hasn't started. He hasn't started all that well, but who knows. And the St. Anthony's College lineup, they go with Francois, Brusco, Ford, Calendar, Castang, Wilson Wright, Bob, Samuel, Miller, Germany, that's a big player, Stowe, and of course their coach, always over the last few years, even though when Nigel Grosvenor was here, he was always on the bench as well, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yes.
Ronald Daniel.
Yes, he coached as an assistant coach capacity under Grovey. So that was, I said, basically he has the blueprint right tucked in his pants there still, so we can pull it out.
Yeah, well, he certainly does, because, and then of course Grovey had moved on to QRC, and then he took the reins here. Yeah. So it's St. Anthony's, of course, in red, and what I do expect, St. Augustine, known as the Green Machine, they're not going to be in blue, they are in green. And we see the change, the teams just changing. Does it make a difference where you kick in the first half?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but if the sun is up, I guess.
Okay.
And the wind, and if there's a strong wind, perhaps.
Well, I think from my experience, and Joel, of course, could bear me out here, playing on this ground, there's going uphill and going downhill.
Yeah.
And I know from experience that St. Anthony's like to go downhill in the second half.
Correct.
And they're a completely different team, Colin, when they're going downhill. Well, I have some nightmares of their downhill activities.
Yes, that's so true.
St. Augustine with a kickoff and immediately trying to get that ball forward. And this is St. Augustine just knocking it around. But St. Anthony's, they get possession. The ball is in the middle of the field. They go all the way back towards, this looks like Calendar, and he playing it forward as St. Anthony's looking to just get a hold of the proceedings. Finally cleared upfield by Wilson Wright, and the ball comes off the head of Francois, and the goalkeeper comes out. He takes control of it, sends it out to Calendar. Calendar getting the return ball, gets it to Castan, looking to play it forward, trying to get Theo going. But it's over onto that far side. Here comes St. Anthony's. This could be danger here, and sent high over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick for St. Augustine. We already see Brent St. Anthony's trying to take control of the proceedings.
Well, I thought for a moment that he was in an offside position, but nevertheless the linesman Caleb Wales did not raise his flag. But I think when he got into the box, he could have been a little bit more, of course, polished in what he was trying to do. I'm not sure what is transpired there.
Well,
that's a very, very strange one.
Yeah, he was closed down and he just kicked it out for a corner. He got the ball from the keeper. He was closed down quickly. Looks like Piper. Yeah, he looked like that was Piper, and instead of him trying to clear it, he decided to give away the corner. So, the first corner of the game to St. Anthony's. Let's see if they can make anything of this set piece. Heads going up there, and it looked to be Ford getting that header, but still danger for St. Augustine, as eventually it's centre field. Not a good clearance at all, and here comes St. Anthony's again, and it's going to be a free kick for St. Augustine. Ball played early towards Nicholas, trying to get past Calendar, but this is the man coming back there to assist. In fact, it's Theo, and he gets a goal kick for his team. So the goal kick quickly taken.
Some of you guys are resting down your mic too hard and we could hear it. You need to gently rest it down, please.
Right here.
What?
Nobody resting down the mic. So here comes St. Anthony's. Ball in the middle of the field as they're trying to get the better of St. Augustine. They're fighting for everything here. This is the man there sending that ball wide. That was Samuel. and he gets back possession. Oh, that's a bad ball. Going all the way back to Brusco. Is he going to go all the way back to his keeper? He does. Sends it all the way back.
Oh.
So it's at the back with Calendar. Looking to play that ball, trying to release Theo. Goes all the way to the keeper. This is Calendar, the left back for St. Anthony's. Making that run is Miller. This is Miller. He just took a lead, tried to come back. Goes all the way back now. This is, that's good. He's won that ball nicely. He's looks to send, he's looking to send Ferdinand away. This is Ferdinand in possession. That's a good tackle by Brusco. Brusco coming away with it. He's getting some backward support from Francois. Nice long searching ball for Theo. He takes it down nicely. He's looking for some support. Oh, he comes inside nicely. He's still in possession. Looking to have the shot from a distance. It would have been a real cracker to beat the keeper from that kind of distance, guys.
Well, I'm looking at the line that St. Augustine is holding, gentlemen, and it's a very high one. And because of that, St. Anthony's are obviously trying to go a bit direct. I think they're playing a very dangerous game, the Green Machine. The defensive line that they're holding is a bit too high for my liking.
Yes, and especially with those kind of slip and slide conditions out there, you're seeing where the forwards are actually nipping in a little bit behind them. So
Theo in an offside position. So it's going to be a free kick for St. Augustine. Trying to switch the play, but Calendar is going to get there first. This is Nicholas. Gets it back to O'Brien. Still O'Brien in possession. Gives it away, but it's good. They want to throw. So just about 5 minutes gone. No goals yet here at St. Anthony's ground. Throw is going to be taken by O'Brien. Calendar searching, nice long ball, looking for Miller. He's under charge. Can't get the better of O'Brien, but if they give it away to Theo, sends that ball right across the field, looking for Ford. He takes it down nicely. This is St. Anthony's on the attack here. Nobody can get the shot away, and it in fact comes all the way back towards let's see, that is Castang, but he can't do very much with it. It's picked up in the middle of the field again. Balls now goes to Williams. This is Ford. Oh, never got over it, guys.
No pound control shot there. I mean, the ground is a bit uneven on that side, so he got the upward bounce while he pulled the trigger. So basically, that's what transpired there. But all in all, they are making some inroads coming down that right side, cutting in. So let's see, maybe a little more patience in the final third there, and we might have some success.
Well, this is the Green Machine in control, passing it around nicely. But they give it away, and this is Miller. Can he get there? No, he's not getting there before Piper. Piper sends it clear. It's picked up there by Ford. Looks to come in field with it. Sends it across, looking for Miller. Still, they have problems clearing this ball. Ball is going all the way back towards Castang. The shot comes, low shot. Nearly took a deflection there, as that shot was low from Samuel. They give it away. This time, the ball played right across to the far side. Ford takes it down nicely. He's got a good touch, but he give it away to Williams. And they give it right back to St. Anthony's, as it's Francois to Brusco. He's got Ford wide on the right. This is Ford. Sends the ball in. That's a dangerous ball. Oh, that's a really important header by is that Piper? No, it was Williams who was just heading that ball out, and it's going to be a corner. Miller was just set and waiting there, Brent and Joel, and a very important interception by Williams.
Yeah, it's a good clearance there by Williams eventually, but it's been one-way traffic, gentlemen, so far, and you just feel that it's only a matter of time before St. Anthony's on one of these attacks put the ball into the back of the net. St. Augustine has defended stoutly, but it's going to
be a long afternoon.
You're correct.
Yes, it's a constant pressure, downhill press.
Well, it's going to be Ford with the corner. That's not a bad corner. Headed away.
It's a good header.
Yep, excellent header there by Telesford. As still Samuel in possession, looking for Miller. Oh, he took it down well and then he lost control. It goes towards Nicholas, but he can't keep it in. In fact, let's see. It's going to be a throw for St. Anthony's. Of course, Calendar is it's going to be Castang coming to take the throw. Gets it to Miller. Right across towards Williams. Can he control it? No, he gives it away. Ford takes possession. Sends that ball wide on the right. This is Bob going down that right side. Sends it to Miller. Still. Whoa. Well.
Almost an own goal there.
Yes, certainly. He was harassed by Miller.
Yes.
Let's maybe we can have a look at that again. But he nearly played it into his own net. I think it was Piper was the defender.
Yeah, once the ball was played into the box, miskick there. I think he wondered.
It was the skipper Andrews.
If Andrews would have allowed it to sneak through. Yes. Again, St. Augustine survived.
So just about 10 minutes have gone so far. No goals yet here at the St. Anthony's ground. It's St. Anthony's College against St. Augustine Secondary. And it's been all one-way traffic so far. And you just feel if St. Anthony's were to get that first goal, we'd see a few more. This ball is just in the middle there, sent right across, but it's won here by Castang. He's looking to go forward with it now. Sends that ball wide on the right, and in fact he's brought down. Referee calls Telesford over to have a word with him, and it's going to be a free kick for St. Anthony's.
Well, despite it being one-way traffic, St. Anthony's have not had a real clear-cut opportunity. And a lot of that is down to the fact that St. Augustine have put in a lot of men behind the football. They have 8 or 9 green shirts behind the football each and every time. And you just wonder if St. Anthony's are going to, of course, counter that by trying to put more numbers ahead of the football to join into the attack. They've just been outnumbered when they get into that execution third. And that's been the survival.
It's a good tackle in the
it's an excellent tackle.
Yeah, Ford was making his way through. He looks a good player, very much left-footed, playing on the right side, but he's got good control with the left foot and tends to go with that right foot. As a matter of fact, with that left foot, I thought he would have been looking to take a shot there, but in the end, it was a good tackle.
Yes, that was a timely tackle that came in there. And just what Brent was saying with the defense of the St. Augustine, they're holding out stoutly, under the constant pressure there, and so far so good, but I think they have to find an outlet and put this ball on the ground and see how best they can at least move it up the road or get it up the road as quick as possible, because time will tell.
That's another one, went all the way through to the keeper. No Tiger could have got a touch onto it. Here's Cooper for St. Augustine, gets it back to O'Brien. He gets the return ball. Cooper sends that not a bad ball at all. This could be problems, but that's well defended in the end by Francois. But he's being harassed by Telesford. He's not giving up as Francois. I think he wins the throw. Does well in the end. But that was not a bad ball from Cooper, looking for Telesford. And the interception was by Francois.
Yes, and in these conditions, the long hop, the bounce and slip off the pitch, forwards have to be alert.
Handball? Is it? Nope. Yes, it's going to be a free kick for the Tigers. Being left to Calendar. He's got a nice left foot as well. Sends it towards Miller. Miller in control. He's got Ford wide, but he decides to go on his own. He turns back here. He's dribble 1, 2. He's still in possession, trying to get it back towards Samuel, and it now goes to Ford. Very much left-footed, looking for some support. He gets that backward support from Brusco. He goes further back towards Francois. This is Brusco to Ford. Can't control it. Williams clears. It's going to be a throw for St. Anthony's.
And if there was, of course, an acquisition level to St. Anthony's, would be that when they get to the business end of the field, they're just not crisp enough. They're just not decisive enough. And I think that's the difference as well. You have to be very decisive when you get in there. And the hesitation and the slow tempo in which they play with when they get into their final third has really been to their undoing.
The other thing is, guys, what I'm looking at, sometimes they've got the opportunities to take some shots, and they're looking to pass. They're almost like trying to walk the ball into the goal.
Correct, yes, that extra pass, to make it look short or precise, but at the end of the day, they snapshot.
And especially in conditions like this.
Correct.
It's a nightmare for keepers if that ball bounces in front of them. But here's Calendar. Gets it to Castang. Gets it a good ball there as Bob goes forward with it. This could be problems here. This could be goal number 1. He hit it straight to the keeper. In fact, that was Wilson Wright making his way forward, and they hit it straight to the keeper, Wilson Wright. But St. Anthony's, they regain possession. Here they come again through Samuel. He was looking to play it wide on that right side, but you have to think that the number 8 player, Aaron Wilson Wright, should have scored. Here he goes.
Yeah, he should have scored on this one. He did everything correct. A good surge and run from the middle of the park. And of course, the only thing that he didn't do right was place it past the goalkeeper. 2 straight.
This is Theo. Castang trying to get to that byline, but this is going to be good defending. Yes, he's holding him off. And that was good defending by O'Brien, and he's actually won a free kick out of it. So just about 15 minutes gone, and still it's goalless here, surprisingly, because St. Anthony's, they have dominated play thus far. Francois gets it to Ford. This is Brusco. They've got to go back. This is Wilson Wright. Getting it. This is Miller. Slips. Again, guys, we've seen 1 or 2 players slipping, on conditions like this. They've got to get the right foot well.
Correct. That's what I'm now running through my mind. I'm saying probably they need the studs out there.
Well, Cooper gets a shot in, and he's given chase. So the first shot on target there for St. Augustine, and Cooper, the lone man up front, he's really isolated, but he got the better of the defense. And give him credit, he also had the shot. And in these conditions, the ball was slipping in front of the keeper, hitting in front of the keeper, and could so easily have eluded him.
Yes.
Here is Brusco getting some support from Francois. Ball played by Bob. Back to Brusco. Francois. Searching ball, getting it to Theo. Theo taking on his man, going past O'Brien. This is Theo. This is really good defending by O'Brien. Yes. He never gave up. You thought for one moment that Theo would have got the better of him, but he never gave up, and he's played it out for a corner. I think you've made the point, guys. The determination so far of the St. Augustine defense.
Yes, that's the difference in the game right now. They're determined and they are being very stoic. So at the end of the day, once this resistance stays, it will be difficult as the game goes along, maybe for St. Anthony's to trickle in one. But let's see how it unfolds.
This is Theo, sends that ball in, again cleared away. You just got a feeling though, guys, if St. Anthony's were to get one, the floodgates may very well open. But I don't want to be that harsh on St. Augustine, because they really have defended well. They've defended stoutly for 17 and a half minutes.
Well, there's an appetite there, and the appetite from the St. Augustine rear guard, and inclusive of all the players in the green shirt, is not to allow St. Anthony's to have a shot, an easy pass. And of course, that determination, as you've mentioned, has kept them in this game so far. As you rightfully say, the question is, how long can they keep this up?
This is Samuel. Oh, his ball is sent through to Miller, but he's in an offside position. The players will now see the flag going up. But wait, didn't that ball come off of a defender? I think it was a defender who played the ball through to Miller.
Yes,
we'll need to have a look at that again.
Yeah, but it's a goal. The referee is actually showing
the referee spotted it. I don't think the assistant referee on the far side spotted it.
Correct, yes.
But Miller opens the scoring here in the 18th minute for St. Anthony.
As we take a look at it here, look at the touch here by this St. Augustine player. That's a correct call by the official.
Yes,
very good call. And of course, the Caleb Wales defense. He's on the other side.
Yeah,
the linesman. He couldn't see it.
Yes.
He couldn't see it. So it's an extremely good call by the official.
Yeah, it came off of Telesford, the St. Augustine midfielder. As for some unknown reason, why was he trying to play it back there? You know,
well, he toe-poked the ball. I think he was trying to win the football, but you're right. Yes. He probably would have been better served allowing him, the player, to go on with the football and then engage by another St. Augustine defender.
Well, they've won a free kick, and that's not a bad effort. Well, that so easily could have crept in. Well, it was a long free kick sent upfield, and I think it's Cooper again. It was just getting a touch to it, but here's the Tigers coming forward. It's with Wilson Wright.
It's a good challenge.
Yes, the winner throw. It's coming up to 20 minutes. Let's have a look at that free kick, Brent and Joel.
Yes. Well struck. Well struck, very well struck. Good technique. And again, as you see in the wet, slippery conditions, anything can go on. Yeah,
I think Cooper just got a toe to it,
yes,
which made it even more difficult for the keeper. Yes. He did well in the end.
Correct, yes. Cooper is now making the presence, a little presence at least. So that's good.
This is Theo. Getting it towards Samuel, but
heavy touch.
Yeah. And yes, he lost control of it, and then he eventually fouled the defender. So
and that's one of the reasons why, guys, of course, St. Anthony's only one goal up. It's a heavy touch, poor decision making, and as you said, Colin, as well, they should be taking more shots on goal. They haven't done that. Just the overall execution in the final two just haven't been up to par for St. Anthony's College. As we look at some of the fans here, I know, Joel, you lamented on the fact that normally this would be a packed house.
Yes, for sure, but as we see, transformation, and then we're coming off a 2-year lull.
Yeah.
You know, that will all dent a lot of people's motivation, but at least we are back out today, and it's going to pick up.
Yeah, I think, Joel, you know, what you're seeing here is now, I think people now realize, hey, the Tiger Tank Secondary Schools League is on. And, you know, I think once we get, yes, there is that Ron?
Yes.
Ronla,
As I see him there, that is one of the coaches that had a great season here at St. Anthony's.
That's right.
2002,
right.
You know.
He's always comes around to these games. Well, I think he lives in walking distance from here.
Yes.
But he always at these games, Ronla.
Yes.
I keep telling him, I say, Ron, if Trinidad and Tobago can get a striker like you, we'd win many more matches. Of course, he smiles and he loves that, you know.
Colin, you know Brent was a big striker too, right?
Brent who? Brent who are you speaking about, Joel? I'm not sure.
Kenny Lie days. we go.
Well, that's not a bad effort.
In school.
Yeah, well, I think another coach obviously got sense and put him in the back.
Joel, I don't think you should even mention those types of things with Colin, because he won't understand.
Okay, yes.
If you talk about silly mid-off and leg on spin, maybe.
Joel, you check the records when I played for Fatima, Joel. I played wide on the right, on the left or wide on the right, and I was always popping up to put the ball in the back of the net. You just check the records and you can ask. And you know, I was about to make mention actually that in the old days, and when I'm going back, you know, with you know, you get conditions like this, and the first thing the coach says is, guys, shoot on sight.
Correct.
It's amazing, you know, and I'm not seeing enough of that. And not only today, but, you know, in general, I'm not seeing enough shots here because this is Telesford, but he's not going to get there before goalkeeper Germany. Yeah, that's my only problem. And you know, you used to see shots coming from outside and bombarding the keeper, because those were the things you practice on a daily basis. When you go to practice, you're just shooting, and you know, it becomes habit after a while that you're getting it on target.
And I think, despite the fact that we've only covered a couple of games so far, you'd have to suggest that from the technical side of things, it has not been up to the level that we're used to at the SSFL. And of course, we have to be mindful of the 2-year hiatus that we've had. And as you talked to Colin about the shooting and goal, I think it has to tie into that. A lot of the kids and the players that we're seeing here, they don't seem comfortable taking that task on.
They seem to all want to walk the ball into the goal, you know. And here's a long ball. Theo is giving chase. This could be problems again. And the keeper does well. Give him credit. He came on, but it goes to, this is back to Theo. Let's see, is he going to look for the shot? Made a bad angle for himself.
He should have done that the first time.
That's right.
Bad angle and a bad decision.
Yeah.
He had a man coming up on the far side.
Overlapping nicely.
Overlapping the captain. Miller should have laid it off for him.
Talisman, he handled the ball and he sort of pulled away very, very guilty. And that was one thing with Brent Sancho. When he handled the ball, he continued playing as if nothing went wrong.
There is accidental handball also.
Yeah, right. This is O'Brien. Trying to get it, they get something going. It goes to Talisman and it rebounds. Nicholas is going to give chase, but goalkeeper Germany gets there quickly. But gives it away. It's one in that midfield by Andrews. Gets it towards Cooper. Laying it off to Williams, but that's good defending on the part of Miller. Miller seems to have gone wide out on the right, and Ford has come inside as Miller goes past his man, but gives it away. It's Piper in possession. Williams picks it up as St. Augustine really can't string 2 or 3 passes together. Seems just happy trying to get the ball upfield. Goes to, this is Nicholas. Oh, again, they give it away. That's a tough tackle. Oh, and the rebound nearly went into the net, but is it going to be a free kick? It appears that it's going to be a free kick for St. Augustine.
It looks like a corner. Maybe a corner. It looked like it was a defensive. Take another look here.
Yes, it was. I thought it was a heavy tackle going in on Telesford, but it was a heavy tackle, but it was a fair tackle on the deflection. But that could have so easily have crept into the goal as well.
Correct.
Well, a left-sided corner for St. Augustine. They're first. Let's see how they look to deal with this set piece that they have.
And you can see by the setup for this corner what St. Augustine focuses on. Because basically they have about 4 guys up.
Which is a bit surprising.
Correct, yes.
You're 1 goal down. I'm looking at about 5 green shirts back. And you have 4 players in the box. That's what I was about to say as well, Joel. You're correct.
Yes. Somebody needed to tell them they're 1 goal down. But anyway, that's, I'm sure they'll look to correct all those things. But as the coach keeps saying, it's a learning curve.
Exactly.
You know? But you know, guys, I'm sorry. You know, you don't come into this division and talk about a learning curve. That is a long ball. Is Miller going to get it? He does well. Nope, he doesn't. He's couldn't keep it in. It's going to be a goal kick. I mean, I don't want to be critical, you know, but you've got to somehow put things together. You can't, you know, it's good. As I said, it's going to be a long season.
Yeah. But and I don't look at the coach as the final point of blame or of course where this conversation is going to. It's a collective, and I think from a school perspective, you know you're in this division and you know what it takes as well.
That's right.
Correct, and the school is steeped in history.
Correct.
They have a building point now that actually set these guys down in a session and let them know the history and the whole foundation of this thing and bring it back together, pull it back.
Yeah, St. Augustine, you know, in the days gone by, they hate to lose.
Of course, yes.
I mean, St. Augustine, you talk the green machine and, you know, in the days
with several national titles to their name.
That's right. Of course, their coach, of course, deceased as well, former coach Kenny Thomas.
Kenny Thomas, correct.
Another stalwart, and he's one who built up this green machine.
Correct.
But this is Miller. Is he going to go past? He was trying to get past Williams. And I think it's going to be a corner. It, in fact, came off of Williams, Killan Williams. So it's going to be a right-sided corner for St. Anthony's. So the Tigers leading by 1-0. The goal scored by Joshua Miller. So this is the right-sided corner. That's a good corner. The heads go up and eventually it's cleared upfield by Telesford. Gets it to Cooper. He's trying to play that man wide on the left. Not a bad idea.
Yes.
because there was Ferdinand going up on that left side, but it was intercepted by Francois. It's Castang. Bob gets it there, and it's Miller in offside. Yes, he looked offside as that ball was played through by Samuel. Miller was standing in an offside position, and it's going to be a free kick for St. Augustine. They still trail by that one goal scored by Joshua Miller. It's not a great free kick, but St. Anthony's, they give the ball right back to St. Augustine. Now the ball played long forward towards Theo. He's in a tussle as per usual with O'Brien. Goes all the way back to Calendar, and Calendar chips it forward looking for Theo, but it's intercepted by O'Brien. This is Nicholas, but he can't keep it, so it's played towards Theo. The idea was good, but the execution of that cross from Theo was not. He was looking for Ford coming through the middle, but hit too close to the keeper.
Guys, I don't know if it's the footwear that's causing the mistrappings and the misdirected passes, but it's apparently the instability, on the grounding.
Yeah, well, it is playing its part, and I think as well, when you look at the execution of it, in some instances they're pulling the trigger too quickly. Whether it's a pass, whether even it's a thought, and they're finding themselves, of course, along with the point you've made, Joel, with the footwear, and it's causing, of course, errant passes all over the park. That's really killed St. Anthony so far this afternoon. And as I said, the only reason why they're only one goal up. Need to improve in that area.
Well, this is Castang playing that ball forward to Wilson Wright, and across comes, is that Piper? It is Piper coming across to clear his ranks. It's going to be a throw. Oh, it's a corner, so it went behind for a corner. I thought he was able to play it out for a throw, but it's going to be a left-sided corner for St. Anthony's. Who's going to take it? Nobody really hustling across to take this. Joel, in your day, you'd have been hustling across to take this corner, wouldn't you?
Of course, I might have been in the box waiting.
Oh, you're waiting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hear you. Well, you would have been hustling somebody to go and take the corner.
Yes.
No, I find that Wilson Wright was just taking his time, going for it, and
it's too early for tactics and strategies like that.
Put them under pressure.
So, yes, correct.
Well, here's Wilson Wright with the corner. That's a good one. That's a good one, but it's headed away. And then again, Brusco slipping just as he was about. That's not Brusco. Let's see. That is just trying to. That is Theo, who has gone over on that right side, and he slipped just as he was about to pull the trigger. Brian getting it to Nicholas. He does well to keep it in. No, he does not. It's going to be a throw for the Tigers. It's Castang with the throw. Gets it back to Calendar. Long ball, searching ball, looking for Miller. Doesn't take it down well, but he still has possession. But Williams is on his back. Literally, he was on his back as well, but he actually gets the free kick because it was a bit of pushing in the end by Miller. And so St. Augustine have a free kick. The Green Machine is the coach. Penny for his thoughts.
I think he'll be happy so far. It's
just one down.
One down, and I think more importantly, the collective defensively has not been bad.
Correct.
Yeah, what I like, Brent, is the fight so far.
Yes.
They're really they're fighting. What they lack in quality, they're making up for determination.
Yeah. The attitude's been spot on. Application terrific so far. And sometimes in football, as you guys would know, you don't have to have quality necessarily to win a football game.
Correct. It's the intangible sometimes that's
you're very correct.
That takes you through. So
ball sent forward as Brusco in possession. Goes all the way back to Calendar. St. Anthony's just playing with a back three. And this is Calendar. He's asking for some movement, but then he gives it away. Oh, what's happening there? It was Jag Group trying to clear it, but didn't made a mess of it, and it's picked up by Castang. Sends that ball infield. Taken on the chest, the shot comes, not a good one. It was taken on the chest there by Bob. It just ran away from him, and in fact, it got a little bit of a deflection, so he's won a corner. So this time it's going to be a run. Again, they're taking the time to go across to take the corner. And it seems to be Ford.
It ties into the type of performance we've seen so far. It's lacked tempo, and that's why they've not been able to get past, of course, the numbers that the Green Machine have put up in front of them. Tempo is just too slow.
Correct.
Well, it's going to be Ford. Mordecai Ford with the corner. Trying to get it swinging in. Again, the heads go up. Goes to Wilson Wright. Is he looking for the shot? And in fact, the shot now comes and goes just wide. He took the shot. It in fact went towards Theo. He then took it down, and then he had another shot, and it went just wide. Let's have a look at that. Wilson Wright with the shot.
Yes.
Goes to Theo.
Straight to Theo, and he snapped at it.
Should have at least hit the target.
Yes, make the keeper safe from there.
Well, Cooper is going to give chase. Calendar does well. Gets it down to Samuel. Plays it to Brusco. Miller. Oh, that's a good 1-2 with Bob. Away goes Miller. Ford is in the middle. And then wide is Theo. Here comes Theo. Is he going to put it away? Oh! He's in the time over the bar. My word.
I think he should have taken an extra second there. Well, Bernd, what do you think in that position?
And I was about to, of course, as we take another look at it, as we've brought the ponies out.
Here's Cooper. He's got a chance now. Oh, is he? Yes! Just like that. Oh, my word. St. Anthony's have paid dearly for their missed chances. Theo missed one. We should have put it in the back of the net. Up, St. Anthony's went straight up front, and that man who has been a real thorn in the St. Anthony's defense, he scored the equalizer in the 36th minute for St. Augustine. The man up front, Jamel Cooper, has equalized for St. Augustine.
And it's nothing less than what he's deserved. He's worked tirelessly up front for the Green Machine. A bit fortunate there, but once he got the ball on the surface, he tapped it around the custodian. That's a top quality finish. And I was about to make the point that we've seen so many times in this division where players are blasting the ball over the bar and not taking that extra second or extra care to put the ball in the back of the net. And up steps Cooper and does just that. Joel, a man of your prolific goal scoring abilities in this Premiership, you must think kids need to do better.
Yes, of course, but Cooper did very well there. I must say his composure, his balance, everything, and he put it away. And obviously the last couple of minutes he is making his presence felt, so he's rewarded.
He has been rewarded, and all of a sudden, guys, it's 1-0. We were thinking, how come it wasn't 3-0 or 4-0? And no, it's a game on.
Yes.
And the complacency St. Anthony's have, that's got to go out the window.
Well, they only have themselves to blame, really.
Wow.
That's a bit ambitious.
It is. And so Brian, the man, the right back, Cyril O'Brien, has gone. And I wonder if he saw a goalkeeper off his line.
Well, I had to take a double take because I wasn't sure what he was seeing himself. I know what I was seeing, which is a goalkeeper on his line. But when you score a goal like that, then you have every right to do and take chances, as you see.
Correct.
Well, what this would have done to St. Augustine, it would have built up their confidence. You know, they now realize, hey, maybe we can beat this team.
Yes. Not even. And now, as they see, they're trying to actually put it down and play. So.
Oh, that he slipped at the wrong time. This is Theo again. This time he scored. This time he's put it into the back of the net. Commodore Theo, he's taking the chance in the 38th minute and has put St. Anthony's back 2-1 up. But you've got to feel for young O'Brien. Theron O'Brien, he slipped at the most inopportune moment. He was about to put in the tackle. Let's have a look, guys. Look at the slip here.
Yes,
He's just coming around.
It's a bit of a slip, but that's the type of finish we've been talking about.
Correct.
Compose and, of course, taking your time to execute. I do think, of course, as we take a look at the slip, which has been one of the main reasons why he was able to escape, but maybe, guys, the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better there?
Yes, I think so. He could have maybe punched, go with a more powerful fist, but as I said, at the end of the day, the forward finished nicely.
What about the goalkeeper's position, guys? His actual position.
It was a bit off.
I thought wasn't he a little
too much his first post, but I thought he could have been a bit more centered. And to add to it as well, he could have used his feet, meaning shuffle across the goal, and then, of course,
bend down and pick it up.
But he decided to where he was standing to dive from there. And as you know, you would never get to the ball that way.
Well, that's a good interception by Castang as that ball was going towards Isaiah Nicholas. And the Green Machine trailing by 2-1. They've won a throw-in. Ball goes towards Nicholas. He's turning nicely with it. Gets it towards Tellisford, but he can't hold on to it. It's with O'Brien. Oh, that's well won by Ford as Miller coming forward with it. But again, it's picked up here by the Green Machine. Going forward with it there. It looked to be Andrews. And ball set downfield looking for Ford. It's cleared away by Williams. A throw in for St. Anthony's. Just about coming up to 5.5 minutes for the end of the first half. There is the coach of St. Augustine.
But you wondered, after losing their first game to Naparima College by 9-1, and of course their following fixture being postponed for Waterlock Field, what would be the mindset of this St. Augustine team coming into it? And you have to give Tacoma some credit, because he's gotten this team to fight, to apply themselves, be a bit tenacious in their approach, and that's the reason why the scoreline has been so close. Of course, we talked about the little lack in quality that they may have, but they've certainly been good value for money when it comes to, of course, denying St. Anthony's clear-cut scoring opportunities.
Here's Nicholas. He's pushed it a little too far ahead of him. Guys, tell me about here's Nicholas. He's got the ball back from Calendar, but there says Theo. He's in an onside position. Cuts it nicely. Ford is with him. He's playing it to Ford. Miller is on the right side. Ford turns, goes back. Has the shot, just bouncing in front of the keeper. Tell me a little bit, guys, of your thoughts on how St. Augustine is organized. How well do you think they're organized?
Well, from my observation here, they are compact at the back, Colin, as you are seeing the 4 men standing across the line, and there may be 1 or 2 midfielders that's dropping in the hole there to help out. But so far we see like a wall when they are coming forward, hence the reason maybe for the offside playing, pushing up to actually compensate for whatever deficiency may be behind there. But so far, so good. As we said, there's the dedication and the discipline to the defensive task so far is holding out.
Did you guys see that? The ball was sent upfield to Cooper. Now he's a lone striker. He headed it on and realized there was nobody and gave chase. And he's actually got them to kick the ball outside. But Ford is offside. Yeah, he actually headed it on, realized that there was nobody, and he actually ran behind it. And Francois had to play it out for a throw.
And it's one of the reasons why St. Augustine could have so many green jerseys behind the football, because of the work rate of Cooper.
Yeah.
He's actually doing a job that 2 or 3 players may have to do. And he's really, as we look at him in the screen, and his hands on his knees.
His hands on his knees.
But he's worked really hard so far.
He's got one player that's going to be glad when halftime comes. Well, this is O'Brien. He's also, I thought, bar that slip, he's had a good game at that right back position. Cooper is not chasing you.
That's a good ball.
Yep. See the man wide there. It is in fact Ferdinand, but can't get the better of Samuel, and he in fact plays it out, trying to find Miller. Yeah, look, Cooper. Just check Cooper, guys, in the middle of the field. His hands are still on his knees.
Yes, he's the lone striker among those 3-4 defenders here, so he has a lot of work to put in to bridge that gap between the midfield and himself.
There he is. Has he been, and he's got a foul?
Yes.
You know, this guy, I'm really being entertained by Cooper. I think he's really a handful so far. And he's won a free kick, and who knows? Are they going to go for goal from this position? Very well made.
Yes.
Let's see who is over the ball. It appears to be, is it Jagru? No, it's not. It could be Williams.
Well, you'd have to think this is going on frame. They've had 2 shots in Augustine, both from very, very long distance. So it's somewhere within the camp. They may feel there's a weak link in the St. Anthony's goal.
It's Ferdinand with the kick. It hits the wall. Foul committed by Piper. So it's going to be a free kick for St. Anthony's. Coming up to the last minute of this game. Understand so far there's going to be 1 minute of added on time.
Yeah, it's a definite foul there by Piper.
He used his left hand just to pull him back slightly.
So a rugby tackle.
Yep.
Good control.
Yeah, that's Telesford, the man controlling that. Is just the attacking midfielder playing behind Cooper. There's O'Brien coming off of him. So it's going to be a throw for the Tigers, leading by 2-1. This is Samuel. Chipping it forward, looking for Ford. Actually, that's not Ford, that's the midfielder. Bob, he's gone up in that striking position. But away goes Ferdinand for the Green Machine. Tracked by Brusco. Very well have a shower coming down because some of the spectators on the far side.
By Cooper.
Yeah, this is Nicholas. He couldn't control it. Away comes Castang. Sends that ball for Theo. Still Theo in possession. That's a good tackle in the end from Piper.
Good, well timed. But like Theo is now coming to life.
Yeah, he's certainly picked up his game.
Yes.
There's the run from him.
It's a good surging run there. An even better tackle there.
Timely, wasn't it?
By Piper. We've seen that in many divisions go wrong for defenders, but that one was well timed.
So this is a left-sided corner. It's going to be taken by Wilson Wright. This is a good one. The keeper comes. He does well. But head over just onto the top of the crossbar as Samuel flicked it back to the goal, and it hit the crossbar and went over. There is the referee's whistle. Referee C.J. O'Brien says that he's called time on the first half. A very interesting first half. A first half in which you have to say that St. Anthony's dominated. And when you look at the scoreline, 2-1, it wasn't a reflection of that first half. You have to think that St. Anthony's threw away quite a number of chances. So that's the situation here. We're at the half at the St. Anthony's ground. It's St. Anthony's, the Tigers. They're leading the St. Augustine Secondary, the Green Machine, by 2-1. Good luck.
pretty short bumper.
Somebody, umbrella for Sancho.
Minute and a half. Hands okay?
Yeah.
These guys are going to get wet.
Well, welcome back here. We're at the half. It's St. Augustine against St. Anthony's College. St. Anthony's leading by 2-1. The Tigers against the Green Machine. Let's have a look at the highlights. So St. Anthony started the better. The shot coming there from Wright, Wilson Wright. And it was a sign of things to come. This was Ford sending that ball forward. And in fact, he was looking to get that response from Miller, and it was actually put out of play for a corner. This was Castan getting it again to Wilson Wright. This was a good run. He was beating 1-2, went right through and should have put it into the back of the net. The keeper, Delis, did well, and but it was Cooper. He was a real thorn in the St. Anthony's defense all afternoon. He got away from them, had the shot, and the keeper, Germany, was diving to his right. But then this was Samuel, inadvertently sent right through to Miller. The man there, Telesford, sent it. He was the one who got the touch, sent it back to Miller. Miller, in fact, was in an offside position, but because the ball came off the defender, the referee spotted it and allowed the goal to stand, and all of a sudden, the Tigers were leading by 1-0. And here they had another chance. Shot coming from Theo goes just wide. And all of a sudden, long ball upfield, a tussle between Cooper and Calendar. Cooper got the better of him, and there's it. He was a real thorn in St. Anthony's defense. He got the better of Calendar and was able to put it into the back of the net. And all of a sudden, it was one apiece. But St. Anthony's was not done, as the long ball coming right across towards Theo. He took it down. O'Brien slipped, and there was Theo opening his body up and putting it into the far corner. Goalkeeper Delis couldn't hold on to it, and that was all she wrote. And St. Anthony's regaining the lead there by 2-1. O'Brien was slipping, but really and truly, at the end of the day, there was the celebration from Theo as St. Anthony's regained that lead by 2-1. Let's have a look at the stats.
Yes, Colin, as we go into today's stats, we can see the shots on goal completely dominated by the Tigers, 18-5. Shots on target, 9-4 in favor of the Tigers again. Fouls committed, 3 St. Augustine, 2 St. Anthony's. Yellow cards are even at 0, red cards even. Offside, 2 in favor of St. Anthony's, 0 for St. Augustine. Corners, 8-1. St. Anthony's just shows the pressure. And the saves, St. Augustine keeper, 6 saves to St. Anthony's 2.
So that's the situation up here. It's 2-1. St. Anthony's, they're leading 2-1 at the half. Let's go down to Hans and hear who he has with him.
Well, right now I'm joined by one of the assistant coaches for the Green Machine. Coach, tell me, what needs to be worked on and what is the strategy moving into the second half?
We need to get the guys and them more compact in the middle and get them to more settle down earlier in the game. Right, I think we start off a little shaky in the first mind, but definitely we ought to bring it more tight in the middle and get the guys back into it.
All right, well, definitely the team needs the points, so we look forward to the second half action. Here with St. Anthony's assistant coach, taking a little wetting in between. Coach Battle, what are the lessons from the first half and how do we strategize and move into the next half as the Tigers? What do you all plan to do?
Well, the thing about it, I want to say that the team that is on the field right now, just like every one of the probably the teams in the competition, coming out of a pandemic, the name St. Anthony's is bigger than the players right now.
Right. Wow.
And I know the public willing to see when you hear St. Anthony's versus anybody is St. Anthony's. But these guys have to learn to play ball in transition, positional play, team formation. And I think we're not doing too bad. But as I say, you could call it a work in progress.
Well, thank you very much, Coach. One of your players that's definitely not doing too bad, your captain who was able to score in the first half, Joshua Miller. Let's take a look at him, courtesy First Citizens.
I try to keep myself at a certain level, so on mornings I will go and run or I'll go and do some shuttles on the field. Last time I played competitively was earlier in this year for the Tiger Tanks tournament. I think we are coming together really well. Every time we come, we give each other handshakes. We try to keep everything together as a team. I have a great mindset. I try to push my teammates to be the best that they could be. So every time you run laps on somewhere, you stop walking and try to push them, motivate them, send them videos in the group. Yeah, I think we need to just build together as a team, get more brotherlyhood, be our brothers' keepers. After missing a whole year of football, we're ready to give our all in this upcoming tournament, looking to win everything and putting our best foot forward.
Joshua Miller just taking a look at St. Anthony's College Tigers captain. Brent Sancho joins me on the field now. Brent, St. Augustine's assistant coach spoke a lot about improving the middle, tighter football. What do you think are the keys to actually the team that will win this game?
I think from a St. Augustine perspective, they have done quite well in terms of the way they have applied themselves. We talked about, of course, a heavy defeat against Naparima College in the first fixture. That has been fixed. They've been very compact defensively. He's correct moving forward into the middle phase where I think they need to be a little bit more organized. And I think that's where he was lamenting on as it results, talks about the changes that they made. The boy up front, Cooper, has worked very, very hard. Right. If he can continue with the industry that he's shown so far, he will give St. Augustine a chance to get back in this game.
Well, let's talk a little bit about St. Anthony's College. I mean, Joshua Miller, the captain, doing yeoman service, as well as Anthony Samuel as well.
Yeah, they've done very well. I think where they've let themselves down is in the execution in the final third. I think their decision making has not been up to scratch. Certainly where they should be shooting footballs, passing a bit more precise, or even thinking wise. It has been a little bit off for St. Anthony today, and it's the reason why the score is only 2-1, despite, of course, the advantage that they've had in the possession department.
Well, we'll see what happens in the second half when we come back around. It's the Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League Premiership. We'll be right back.
here to the St. Anthony's College ground, the home of the Tigers. They lead at this moment in time by 2-1. We've just seen the end of the first half. We'll await the teams for then they come back out for the second half action. And really and truly, you have to think that at 2-1, it would give St. Augustine hope, because the way the game started, Joel, after about 10 minutes, we were talking, well, this could be a long evening for St. Augustine, and we were thinking, well, 3-4 if they do well enough. But not only have they scored a goal, they came back, they equalized through the persistence of that man up front, Jamil Cooper. And they've really held their own. And second half, we could really see. I mean, what? Let me ask you, what do you expect to see in the second half?
Colin, as Brent alluded to earlier, kicking down in this field is an important thing also. So now St. Augustine coming down there with that little momentum, you are seeing how Cooper is a handful. He is shaking them off and he's getting around behind them. We can expect anything going down in the second half. Maybe St. Anthony's may pull away, but I tell you, if St. Augustine pulls back one to even it up, we don't know how this game will run in.
Yeah, how you see any changes, Brent, or St. Anthony's going to come out the same way?
Well, they will have to change, and I think the change has to start first of all with the way they have approached the game, the tempo. You talked about the way they approach the corners, for example, strolling across. There just seems to be a very lax approach by St. Anthony's, almost as if they believe that they should walk away with all 3 points here without even kicking a football. And that's one of the reasons why St. Augustine was able to get back into the football game. So I think before we even speak tactics and approach to the game, I think the tempo of the game from a St. Anthony's perspective has to change. For St. Augustine, they'll be buoyed by the fact that it's only 2-1, as you rightfully mentioned, and more importantly, they've defended quite well. And I think because of those two factors, I'm very sure Coach Tacoma is in that locker room going to say, gentlemen, this is far from over. We're still in with a chance.
So more of the same, Joel, from St. Augustine.
Yes, I can see that. Hopefully St. Anthony's could get that long ball cut out maybe early before I get over there to Cooper over the top, but we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, we just keep calling that name Cooper. Well, he's got a 15-minute rest, so he should be energized again to go into this second half. But St. Anthony's, they have the kickoff. There's goalkeeper Andrew Delise. He's done well. You know, he's only conceded twice, but he's had some near misses and he's had 1 or 2 good saves.
Yes, for sure. He's holding his end there. And now, as we are seeing a little drizzle on the surface, I think Miller, the guys with the talent, the guys with the tricky feet, I think this is time for them to go to work.
Well, let's see if they'll go to work for the next 45 minutes against this Green Machine team. St. Anthony's, they've got the kickoff. We're just awaiting referee CJ O'Brien. Is there a substitution? No, they're just waiting on one of the players to come back on.
And just watching at the St. Anthony's lineup, you can see the back four with a compact 3 midfield and the 3 forwards spread along the top line.
Well, it's going to be Ford with the kick. Gets it back to Samuel. Sends a nice long ball looking for Theo. And this is Ford. Gets it towards wide is Miller. The ball coming right across the field from Wilson Wright. And he was in an offside position. It's going to be a free kick for the Green Machine. So just a steady drizzle here now at the moment. Thankfully, it's not a big shower. So, but just a constant drizzle. And let's hope it doesn't get any heavier, because it could make life very uncomfortable for these guys. I think, Joel, you're making the point that the field is holding up nicely. This is Wilson Wright. Cleared away. Yeah, you were making the point. As a matter of fact, someone just called me and was asking me how is the field doing, because normally with this kind of, sometimes with the rain down here, this field gets pretty much waterlogged.
Yeah, yes, Colin, quite surprising. Now I'm now saying too, yes, it ran off nicely.
Well, it's a free kick for St. Augustine. There was Nicholas being brought down. So the free kick is going to be taken by O'Brien. Looking for Nicholas. Oh, he gets it better of his man. Sends it an early cross. And in fact, it's now cleared away by Francois. And away goes Ford. But this is good defending by O'Brien. Is he fouled? Oh, he turns nicely with it.
That's good football.
Yeah, gets it to Nicholson. He's going to give it away. No, it's we picked up in the middle by Telesford, and he's fouled. So it's going to be a free kick for St. Augustine.
And you can see St. Augustine maybe getting a little more comfortable now, as you see they are trying to string some passes and move forward. So, as I said, this game could be wide open.
Yeah, it's they're going to be a competitive team throughout the season. They're going to get some experience. They're going to learn as they go along. And this man, Cooper, plays the ball to Telesford. Oh, that's a good tackle in the end. An excellent tackle coming from Francois. But that was a nice bit of football again. Playing it to Cooper. He played it towards Telesford. And in timely interception by Francois.
Yes, as you can see, good maneuver, good dribble, pass in one, the 1-2 off the defender, and he tried to go at it one time. And
he hesitated, didn't he?
Yes.
Tell us what, he hesitated. I think if he allowed his natural stride into the football, he would have slotted it to the back of the net. That slight hesitation, of course, allowed the defender to get back to make a tackle.
So they've started the second half really well, St. Augustine. They've got a left-sided corner. Looks to be Ferdinand who's taking it. No, it's not Ferdinand. It's O'Brien, the right back. So he's coming right across on this left side to take the corner. Sends it over to the far post and it's headed out. So it's going to be another corner. This time it's going to be a right-sided corner. And Nicholson is going out to take it with his right foot. Goalkeeper Germany just asking to making sure that all the St. Augustine players are marked off. So Nicholson with this right-sided corner for St. Augustine. Can they get the equalizer here? It's not a good corner, but in fact it goes to Piper, who has this shot, and that was just over the bar. Well, I was saying it wasn't such a great corner, but Piper picked it up, cut inside, and had that shot, and it skimmed the crossbar.
Very on-centre half-like.
Oh, there's another shot coming. Well, all of a sudden, St. Augustine, they're putting pressure on the St. Anthony's. Is it the fact that they're going down? They're kicking down? What's going on?
Yes, and look, and they are pressuring.
Yeah.
Up. Nice.
They're just putting pressure on St. Anthony's. They can't get out their own half.
Well, we were told by the St. Anthony's legend, Joel Gibbons, that going downhill is where you have to be. So I think St. Augustine may have heard you, Joel.
That's it.
Probably did.
Somebody's listening. They said at halftime, they said Joel Gibbons says kicking down is how they have to be. And no, but you give them credit. They've certainly come back into this game. And what I like about this St. Augustine side, as we look at, is it this man going up the left side, Castang, and O'Brien clears it downfield. Does it go out of play? Yes, it does. It's going to be. What I like about them is their determination, their fight. They just got this lovely fighting spirit that every one of them on that field, they're fighting for the ball. They're even fighting when it's a lost cause, like Cooper.
Yes.
I like Cooper actually. He's he's one of my favorite players for the afternoon. Ball is going. He's got a 10% chance to win the ball against the goalie, and he's running at 100 miles per hour trying to get it. This ball is picked up there in the middle, but sent across to Ford. Eventually it's O'Brien who sends it downfield, but Castang playing it towards Wilson Wright. O'Brien does well, sends it back downfield, but it's picked up by Castang. Looking for some backward support in Calendar. Gets it to Francois. He's got a good right foot on him. But this time he just plays it short to Wilson Wright. They go back to Calendar. Chips that ball for Theo, making the run, going up that left side. Gets to the byline, squares it back, but it goes towards Bob. But he can't control it. Does well to win it back. And eventually, Piper has to come away with it. Still Piper trying to get it into that middle, looking for Jagroot, but it's won by Ford. Oh, the cracking shot. That's a great save from Delis. Oh, Ford, he's got that beautiful left foot. He's very much left-footed. cut inside and he smashed it, and Delise was equal to it. This man he is another hero for St. Augustine so far this afternoon.
Yes, that was a timely, good save. He kept his eyes on it and his body was behind it. Well struck from Ford also. Where was that left foot first half?
Yes. Well, this is Cooper. I always get excited when I see him on the ball. But Telesford. So we have a substitution at half time. It was Asalam. He came on for Williams for St. Augustine. The sound of the raindrops that our viewers are hearing at this point in time. But here goes Ford. Can't get a better. Piper! And the keeper comes. Very, very timely interception by the keeper, Delise. Yes, the sound of the raindrops. And the thing is, Joel, it keeps falling on my head.
Well,
this is Ford in an offside position. So when they talk about the song, raindrops keep falling on my head. I tell you, Joel, it's happening.
Please don't encourage him, Joel. I'm begging you.
You know I'm going to start to sing shortly. Unless somebody gets an umbrella for me.
Thanks for the heads up. Thanks for the heads up.
It's going to be a free kick for St. Augustine. It's Williams with the free kick.
Seems like a player's down on the far side.
Yeah. No, it's not O'Brien who's down. It seems to be Nicholas. Yeah, it is Nicholas. He's limping going off. Let's hope he's going to be all right. Hey, can I borrow your umbrella? So these fans, we allow them to come closer to me. But it's.
I thought you like water, Colin. I'm a bit confused there.
Only when I'm in the sea, Brent.
Brent, cricket don't play in rain, as they say.
Well, there you go.
But it's not a cricket game, is it? This ball's played downfield, and St. Augustine looking for that equalizer. Intercepted by Calendar. This is Castang. Getting it to Wilson Wright. So St. Anthony's stringing a few passes together as Samuel plays it all the way back to Castang. Sends that long ball looking for Ford, who's going to make that run, but it's Williams who's getting the better of him. There was a tussle between the man who came on as a substitute, Asalam, and Miller.
Substitution.
There's another substitution for St. Augustine. So the injury to Nicholas seems serious enough that he has to come off. And the new man coming on is Giovanni Hospitalis. So Hospitalis on for Nicholas as that ball played through to trying to get Telesford going. But here goes this time. This is let's see, the man going wide.
It's a good
Ferdinand,
shot.
and the shot comes, and it's been pushed wide. So Ferdinand cutting inside, and the shot there coming, and Germany does well.
Well, they're certainly growing into this competition, St. Augustine. They're now finding themselves with shots on goal as we have another look at it.
Yes, this is Ferdinand picking it up, Grant.
Yeah, he's done well. He's turned inside. And of course shimmied into a shooting position. Tried to beat the goalkeeper in the near post. I thought it may have been going out there.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it was slightly just going out.
But it's the right approach by St. Augustine, that's for sure.
So O'Brien is going to take the corner.
And St. Anthony's have really lost the impetus in this one. They were the aggressor in the first half, and you might suggest that in the second half, St. Augustine seemed to be the ones on top.
But Brent, look again. There's a corner for St. Augustine, and there's only 3 green shirts in the box.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Sure, yeah. And they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
With no one, not a red shirt in sight.
Not a red shirt in sight. Somebody needs to say, hey, go forward a little bit. Yeah, well, Even Miller now is going back for St. Anthony's.
I'm confused.
So there's no red shirts up. There are 5 players for the green machine back. But here's the corner going towards that first post and goes out. It's going to be a goal kick for St. Anthony's.
I think you will only see that play if there's an Alan Shearer, a Peter Crouch, and maybe 2 other players that are very, very good in the air, and you just say the best 4
maybe if you,
in the air.
maybe if you picked up a Michael Jordan and started to play football. But it's going to be a free kick for St. Augustine. Foul committed there by, let's see, by Miller. So it's free kick.
And by applying a little pressure further up the field has really helped St. Augustine here a lot. You can see that's why they are getting these little turnovers and these better looking opportunities higher up the field. So I guess they came out with that intention coming into the second half here.
St. Augustine seems to be making another substitution. Telesford seems to be the man going off. But here is the free kick. Way over the bar. Here goes, is it Castang? Yes, it is Castang, and brought down. No, the referee is saying it's a fair tackle, went out of play, so it's a throw for St. Anthony's.
Well, they've tried that ball a couple times now in this second half, and it hasn't worked. That ball, little dink ball over the back 4 of St. Augustine. But it's just not worked for St. Anthony's.
Especially down that side with O'Brien. Like
here goes Cooper! Well,
solid.
You see how excited I get, Joel?
Yes, yes.
Because he chases everything, and give Germany credit. He came out very timely interception.
Correct.
And he was able to play it out.
Yes, but as you said, Cooper
he's
is running
everything,
yes.
So St. Augustine in possession at the back. So there is the substitution. Fuentes coming on for Telesford, the number 7, as Ford just trying to get possession, but it's played out wide towards Asalam, and Ford trying to go through the middle. Piper is there, and also Williams.
He's a willing runner forward, but he's just never going to outpace the St. Augustine back forward, and it goes back to the fact that they keep trying to play that ball over the top. It's not working. Here comes the commentator's curse.
Yes, this is Theo. This is a Theo. That's it, Theo. Theo has done it once again for St. Anthony's. The long ball came again. It was a difficult ball for the defender because it was dropping in front of him and he couldn't control it. And it went to Theo, who was challenging for it. He picked it up, went past the defender, and then had the easy chance to slot it away from goalkeeper Delis. So St. Anthony's, they now go 3-1 up in the 60th minute. Let's have a look. Very difficult ball, guys, for the defender.
Yeah, he should have dealt with it early. Spicer has to come and meet it and clear his lines. Of course, he allowed it to bounce, which gave Theo the chance to get in behind him. You'd have to chalk that down into an individual error, and not so much the quality of the pass. It's unfortunate because St. Augustine seemingly was getting back into it. A good finish there.
Yeah, excellent finish again by him, by Theo. But you had to think that a little bit of inexperience on the part of Piper, because that ball was bouncing, and maybe here's Ford with a shot, and goalkeeper Delis is equal to it, just pushes it out for a corner. Yeah, a little bit of inexperience that he should have maybe headed it.
Yes.
But
well, you have to meet it defensively. As a defender, you don't allow the ball to bounce. That's one of the cardinal sins as a defender, and he really should have gotten out there and clear his lines, but instead allowed it to bounce, and of course the rest is history.
Not such a great corner as St. Anthony's, however, they regain possession. And it's Wilson Wright, plays that ball infield. This is Ford, turns nicely with it. Looks to get it towards Theo. That's going to be number 4, no. In a tussle with O'Brien, who does well. Clears it upfield. And is the man who has come on as a substitute, is it? In a rare tussle, I think both men were pushing at the time, and he's given the free kick to St. Augustine.
Yes, so there's a keen battle there.
Yes, Ferdinand. Ferdinand gets the free kick. Yeah, I think he was being pushed by Brusco, and he just pushed him back.
Well, I guess one was pushed and one was pushed more, and the one that was pushed less got the free kick.
So this is Piper.
They need a goal, St. Augustine, to get back into it.
That's right. Piper.
That's poor.
Well, yeah.
That's really poor.
I don't know what
it's the second time.
He didn't go for power, did he? Just maybe a little placement or something like that.
Well, it's the second time there was a free kick in and around the halfway line that went ballooning over the bar, and then on this occasion, just not sure what he was trying to do. And when your team is trailing the way that St. Augustine is currently, you just don't need those sorts of attempts. It could deflate you as a player.
Well, this is Calendar going all the way back to goalkeeper Germany. Plays it back to Calendar. Ball rebounds off of Castang, and away goes Theo. It's been a night. You know, the thing is, he's in a real tussle all afternoon with O'Brien, and he's still been able to score 2 goals. But I think O'Brien has done well. O'Brien has defended very well, and it's really unfortunate that when you look back, the coach will say, well, the 2 goals came from your side. And I thought he's had such a good game.
Yeah, he has had a good game.
Yes, just unfortunate.
Yeah, he's matched him for pace, and of course positionally he's been good. But I think the third goal in particular was a mistake by Piper.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a Joel Gibbons chant sometime soon, Colin.
Well, offside. The flag goes up. As in an offside position there.
As most fans do, and they sing about a former legend. Went to a Brentford game a couple of weeks ago, Colin. They sang about Marcus Gale.
Oh my word!
Who's a former Brentford player.
Yeah, but that and he must have played
many moons ago.
Yeah.
So I expect a song about Joel soon.
It's probably
there's no song about you and Fatima, Colin. I'm very sure about that. Whether or not the statistic books
I don't know
says differently.
We had said that. Here goes. Let's see. That's a really good tackle in the end.
Piper.
Yeah, the real tackle, good tackle. Was that Theo who was, was Theo who was trying to go through the middle. Normally he comes wide on that left, but he was trying to go through the middle. And it's Cooper, still Cooper. He turns with it, looking for some support. Does well, gets it to Ferdinand.
It's good skill.
Still Ferdinand. He slips though, and cleared away by Brusco, but it's picked up by Williams. Good idea, playing that ball wide on the right, but couldn't control it. And away it goes to Theo. Looking to take on his man, but too many. Yes, it's a foul by Piper. No, it's not, says the referee.
Says play out.
Yeah. Away goes Bob. Well, that's intended cross that really came off the outside of the boot. Player down, and let's see. It's Ferdinand. Yes. So Alexander is coming for Ford, because Ford worked hard up front for St. Anthony's, but Alexander has come on to replace him.
Yes, and like Alexander has taken up Theo's position out on the left.
Theo's gone into the middle. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's and this constant drizzle here, guys. It's just not leaving us. I think it just wants to give me. I think it just wants to make sure I've had a shower for the afternoon. You know, I had intended.
The week or the afternoon?
Well, I had intended when I get home, Brent, to have a shower, but I just need to use a towel by the time I get home.
Not surprised, Colin. I'm not.
And you can even take a nice rinse in the pool.
I rinse in the pool. Oh, okay, before I leave. I thank you, Joel. St. Anthony's legend giving me permission, Brent, to go and use the pool.
That sounds like a year membership.
Well, some of the supporters here.
Well, they've stuck it out.
Yeah.
They could have easily have left. We've
right.
had a steady flow of rain here in the West Moorings area in Trinidad, and the supporters are still there. In fact, they've gone into voice now, and of course music.
Yes.
So they're certainly not deterred by the weather.
Well, they all moved from the bleachers where they were seated, and they've gone to under the stand, or under the classroom, should I say, and where they're getting shelter.
Is this their way to stay warm?
Next time, Brent, can we do a game in the classroom? I think we need to do it from the classroom. I'm eyeing up the classroom straight opposite to us. Not sure. Joel, is that the Form 5 block, or where is that?
Well, it's directly across from us here. That's the chapel. So I don't.
Oh, that's the chapel. Well, yes. I think Brent has to go there. We will go there. Brent will definitely have to go there. Joel. There's the keeper, Delise. Let's hope that he's all right. I don't think they can afford to lose Delise at this point in time.
Correct. Yes.
Seems to be. Is it cramp?
Possibly.
Yeah. But he's done well, Delise. I think if it wasn't for him, could have well be 6 or 7. Made some crucial interceptions and 1 or 2 crucial saves. I remember the one from Ford in the second half.
Yes.
And then he's come out on a couple corners. He's come out and he's punched them away. He's done well. Again, he's another one. When you look at the score and you see 3-1, you think, hey, the goalkeeper didn't have such a great game. But he's had a good game.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking at the goalkeeper and how quickly he got to his feet after that world-famous push the boot down treatment that is applied to every single cramping situation.
Yes. Well, here is the ball played out to O'Brien. He can't turn with it. Coming up to just about 70 minutes, so 20 minutes left in this game. And St. Anthony's leading by 3-1 as St. Augustine, who started the second half. It was 2-1 at the half, and they started the second half much better than they did, and then they conceded what was a really soft goal. And there is the St. Anthony's school boys in real voice. Is Cooper looking to go down the left side.
He has one thing on his mind every time, doesn't he? He wants to get as close as possible to the goal to have a strike. That's his mission, that's his aim, and that's what he's programmed to do. As we take another look,
correct.
He has pace and strength.
Yes.
It's just his body around.
He had to go the long way around the defender, and that's really what his problem was there. Ball cleared back upfield. This is Asalam. Ooh, that's a tough tackle coming in from Miller. There goes Cooper. Did you see it again? Headed it on and chased after it. Oh, I think some of the guys in the English Premier Division should learn from that, Brent. They just head it on and stand up.
He follows his own path.
Oh, yeah, man. He just heads it on and gives chase. We see a player down again. It looks like Piper.
It's contagious, and it's what you want. It's the right attitude. And I think that has been really one of the platforms from where St. Augustine's performance has been built upon. People like Cooper, who's chasing those causes, who's giving effort and giving full accountability of himself. And I think that's been, of course, the the overall approach that we've seen from St. Augustine so far. And despite it being 3-1 down, they have so much to take from this game, you know, and we talked a lot about where do they go from here after their first loss. But I think what we've seen here this afternoon, I think the coach Tacoma would be quite impressed and quite happy.
Yes, it's very encouraging, as you say, Brent. I have seen they are trying to do the correct thing, and once they keep the application, the discipline they have, I think it's going to get better as the season come along.
Yeah, well, they'll gain experience as well, Joel. And, you know, I think once he gets the formation right and the strategy right, I think they'll improve.
Yeah.
Here is the chant coming up from the St. Anthony's supporters as Miller send that ball through, but it's picked up in the middle, trying to find Ferdinand. Long ball by Francois, yeah. It goes out, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Green Machine. Tell you, it must be hurting a lot of the old boys of St. Augustine to see them going down by 9-1 and now 3-1 down, again, especially against the Tigers. Some fierce duels over the years.
Yes, heavy rivalry. Even from an old Jerry Nixon days.
That's right.
It's good footwork.
Excellent. And he's come away with it good. This is Williams. Chips it forward. Cooper slips in the trying to take it down. And it's a foul. It's going to be a free. It's going to be a card. It's going to be a card on Francois. So Francois gets the first yellow card of the afternoon. And interestingly enough, I'm sure St. Augustine, they're going to look to go to goal from here because it's a pretty good position.
Hopefully they get it on goal. We've seen some of their set plays so far, and it's left a lot to desire.
Piper is there, and the other player looks to be Asalam, who is also come forward. So it seems to be Asalam is going to take it.
Just needs to be in frame, really. I think. Test the goalkeeper.
That's right.
Yes,
get it on target. So here is Asalam with the free kick. Piper is still there, but it doesn't appear that he's going to take it. 5 men in the wall. As goalkeeper Germany goes to one side. Here's Asalam, hits the wall. So that's the second time we've seen a free kick from St. Augustine that has been charged down by the wall. Here goes Theo. Still in possession, but finally he loses out. So there is the yellow card going to Russell Francois, the central defender for the Tigers. So just about 15 minutes left in this encounter as St. Anthony's, they lead here at the St. Anthony's ground in West Moorings by 3-1. Another player going down and more with cramp. So we have seen this over the last couple of rounds, and yet today we're going to see the same thing, or we are seeing the same thing. Is the bench of the Green Machine. Some of these guys look under 14. I tell you, some of them really look under 14. And but you know what? They will learn. You see, you just have to hope that you don't get relegated.
Correct.
You know, because you're hoping that you're not going to win the league.
It's tough.
Yeah.
When you get relegated,
that's right.
There is no surety that you're going to come right back up.
That's right.
We've seen that with teams that, of course, are traditional powerhouses. And when you look at in the East, you look at Arima, for example, a team that has traditionally done well at this level, and they have not appeared for quite some time in this division.
Yeah, and while that's going on.
Yes, yeah. Well, Trinity College is very much like that. Trinity College out of
But the
Mocha.
North Zone Intercol champions back in, I think,
1920?
2016?
I can't remember.
You can't remember yesterday, Colin, so I'm not surprised.
But I believe the Mocha boys have a couple transfers that is in St. Anthony's now. So at least those a couple of the players.
They've got some quality players in there. Okay.
They get into place there.
But talking about that, we don't have to look far. St. Mary's College, they're
down there as well.
Down.
Correct.
And it's going to be, here is the corner, headed just over the bar, but it's going to be another corner because it was headed over the bar by, let's see, it looked to be the man heading it over the bar could certainly have been Williams. But another corner for St. Anthony's. Goalkeeper! And it went just over the head of the keeper. And Miller trying to get it over. He plays it out and it's going to be a goal kick. That corner went just over the head of the keeper.
Yes.
And they just couldn't put it in the back of the net.
But while we lament the teams that are probably missing and not here, I must say it's good to see that team like Malik is back in the foray.
Yes, that's right, Malik.
Powerhouse for years.
Back in the day with
Arnold Dorica, Sean David, Gary Glasgow.
That's right.
Those were some rivalry, I must say.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised.
Brent Sancho, Brent Sancho, well, he had a double career, of course. Yeah, Trinity and Malik.
Oh, he was at Malik? Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Not in those successful days, Joel. Not in the days you're talking about with Arnold Dorica and Sean David.
We came through the ranks at around the same time, so that will answer your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that.
Brent was part of that crop, that batch.
Right, I appreciate
a winning batch. You know what that is, Colin? A winning batch. Not just a batch, but a winning batch. It's a big difference.
Here is a free kick for St. Augustine. You just have to think that they've got to score now to stand over.
That's poor.
That's really bad.
And it's about the 4th or 5th time we've said that about the set play.
You know, the thing is, guys, when you're not that talented and you can't get forward, when you get set plays, you've got to work on them. They have to count.
Yeah.
Your corners, your free kicks. You know, that's something they need to work on. Because when they get that opportunity, that's when they need to score. See the ground starting to take a little bit of water now. Seeing one or two pools of water, the ball not flowing as it was before. But we've only got about, 11 minutes left in this game and whatever added on time there is. So I think it will hold up, but it's been drizzling for the last 45 minutes here at the St. Anthony's ground. It's been really tough conditions for the commentators. So it's the free kick. A free kick again won by St. Augustine. This is Cooper.
It's going to be dangerous.
Hear my voice. Oh
my goodness.
Just wide. Just wide. Did he take it down well? Turned and had the shot just off target.
He's done ever so well there.
And there he goes again, pressing. Okay.
Yes. That's the kind of a coach's dream, isn't he? Here's the long ball. The least is going to get there before Miller. Or Miller actually is not the man running that ball down.
Theo, it looks like.
Yeah, it's Theo, because he's in the middle now. Yeah, he's a coach's dream, isn't he?
Yes.
He'll run whole afternoon for you.
Well, he falls into the mold of what we've seen so far in the competition, Colin, in terms of course, Noel at San Juan North, Boyce at Presentation College, Tyreek Lee at St. Benedict's College, just to name a few.
Yeah, I think if he's just got to start to learn to take his chances a little more when he's got the opportunity. You know, he's got to try and put it in the back of the net. Ferdinand giving chase, but Francois gets it wide to Castang. Ball played through by Castang, but it's picked up here. This is Asalam looking for Ferdinand. Miller intervenes, but then the long ball played forward. Hospitales can't control it. Here goes St. Anthony's again, but that's a bad ball picked up by St. Augustine as they come forward. Samuel trying to win it back, but the ball given away to Miller. This is Samuel. Oh, that's Bob, sorry. Looking to play it forward to Theo. And O'Brien runs away with it on the far side. Plays it in field. Holding on a little too long there. Seemed to be Andrews.
It's a direct ball.
Francois does well, but it's given away towards Ferdinand. And player down in the meantime. Is that Francois?
It appears so.
Yes, it is Francois. So just about coming up to 8 minutes left in this encounter, and appears that St. Anthony's are going to get 3 more points.
Yeah, 3 points, but I'm quite sure the coaching staff wouldn't be too happy with the performance today, simply because they although they would have had the lion's share of possession, they just haven't been clinical enough. And I think when you look at it over the course of 90 plus minutes, as a coach, you would be a bit concerned, because they should have created a bit more chances, clear-cut chances on goal, and I think B as well control the actual game. They've allowed it to slip away from them a little bit going into the second half. I think those 2 points from a coaching perspective, I think St. Anthony's would be a little bit disappointed. Not taken away, of course, from getting the 3 points and getting the win. They've been good for value for the win. But I think because they're looking at the top half of the table, they're looking to challenge the space size of Fatima and Naparima of this world, and they will have to improve significantly, and St. Benedict's as well. And they're going to have to improve significantly if they want to challenge those teams.
Well, Francois is being helped off the field. Look at that, Cooper has gone. I'm not sure if he's trying to help him off the field. Says one less defender to deal with. But that's the kind of, that
camaraderie,
that to me sums up this guy.
Yes, and Colin, if not mistaken, I think they both could have been in that dual battle.
Yeah, he's lifted him off the field, Cooper.
Yes.
Look at that.
That's a man in a match performance right there.
Correct.
That guy is, I tell you, I really hope he has a good season. And look, he shots right back. He says, okay, guys, we've got one less defender to deal with. Come on. Here goes to Ferdinand. This could be a try. That's a good interception, because he was looking to cut back in field was Ferdinand. This is Asalam. Good interception by Bob. Trying to hold on too long, but in the end, Bob was committing the foul, and it's going to be a free kick for St. Augustine. So putting your hat on, Joel, you agree with the sentiments expressed by Brent if you were the St. Anthony's coach?
Yes, because just watching from the beginning today, they didn't come out with that impetus, as Brent was saying. I didn't see that drive, but at the end of the day, I don't know what kind of preparation before game they had, and they came into the game. So maybe certain things are factors. So
and here's Piper.
Yes.
Oh my word! Oh my word! Piper from all of about 35 meters out. He just he's getting high fives from the coach. No, it's not the first time we've seen him take a free kick. But this time, from 35 yards out, he just floated it. And there was keeper Germany. He was back in. He just totally misjudged it. Brent.
Well, I think I may have to send out my apologies. I now see what he was trying to do with his 6 other attempts that went ballooning over the bar. He was just trying to chip the goalkeeper.
And we talked about them working on set plays and
there you go, Colin. Work for what? There you go. There's a goal.
So, well, we're in for a pretty good last 5 minutes now, because it's 3 goals to 2. Francois has not come back on the field as yet. I think he's been substituted. And we'll have to wait and see who has come on for him.
Number 4.
I can play the match.
Well, we've just about 4 minutes left and added on time. We'll have to wait and see just how much the referee gives. I don't think Francois has come back onto the field. I don't think he's come back on, and it gives me the impression that St. Anthony's, they've made a substitution, and it looks like Bailey, the man who has come on the field, it's Bailey who's come on the field and has picked up that position for Francois. Francois was excellent in the defense for St. Anthony's. He's been really good, and we'll have to wait and see just what sort of impact Bailey has. So there is the ball played forward, but it's going to be a throw. O'Brien slips at the most inopportune time, but luckily for him, there is cover, and it's going to be a throw for St. Augustine.
And as you look back at it, the score being 3-2, you would think 2 of the goals that St. Augustine conceded, they shot themselves in the leg.
There goes Bailey. There goes who else? Cooper is after him. And has he won a corner? No, it's come off of him, and it's going to be a goal kick. Listen, 87.5 minutes gone. I am the lone striker. A ball is played about 15 meters away from me. Why would I chase it down?
Because you're Cooper.
This man is something else.
That's a determined forward.
Oh man, I tell you, I really want to see more of him during the course of the season. But here goes St. Anthony's in terms of, looks like, was it Theo? But Theo is down actually. So we see the referee calling for, seems to call for the stretcher.
I had him down as...
Is that Theo down? No, yes it is. It is Theo.
Well, I had him down as a possible candidate for man of the match. Maybe Theo.
That's with his 2-goal haul.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say,
Yeah, he's had a good game. And he took his goals well. He missed a couple opportunities before he took his first goal.
Especially having to deal with that Tanisha O'Brien across on the right side there.
Yes. So a free kick for St. Augustine. No doubt they're going to go long. That's what I expected. And there goes Cooper. There goes Cooper. He's giving problem. Wow, he just was not able to get a handle on it. And in fact, it's going to be a throw.
Well, I tell you guys what, as a former centre half myself, he is the type of player you like to see exit the field.
Yes.
Because he chases lost causes, and he's forever a thorn in a defender's side. Yeah. He gives you no respite whatsoever.
You'd never know if you have possession of the ball. Suddenly you look around and he's tearing coming at you, maybe from about 15 meters away, and suddenly you got to get rid of it. This is a long ball looking for Miller. Asalam is with him, and Asalam plays it out. So it's going to be a throw for St. Anthony's. It's going to be 5 minutes of added on time. So we just about 30 seconds for the referee to blow his whistle. And we've got 5 minutes. So still, St. Augustine, they've got an opportunity.
Well, I think when they look back, St. Augustine, at this one, as I said, they gave away 2 goals out of the 3.
Yeah, that's right.
They should at least be even or maybe ahead.
You know, the thing is, they've grown into the game, especially in the second half. This is Bob. Does very well. Sends the ball across. Headed away. Wilson Wright in possession now. Gets it to Castang. Plays that ball, and Wilson Wright going through the middle. But the ball was played a little too far ahead of him. And there's Delise. Oh, he gives it straight to Miller. And that's all. It's the ball. Goes to Wilson Wright. Is he going to look for the shot? Back to Miller. Has the shot. Well, what was Delise thinking? He just gave it away. Yes. And it's going to be a free kick for St. Augustine. Well, let's have a look at that. Delise, he just kicked it. Now, Miller had turned his back. Watch at something.
Yes.
Miller had started to turn his back. Wasn't paying attention. No. And Delise says, "Here, Miller. Watch out, Miller. Look at it." And he had the shot. He was a little unlucky, wasn't he?
Yes. Maybe the first keeper that probably got an assist this season, but...
Well,
they got to go.
Well, we're close to Christmas, so it's a time where gifts are given.
Yeah,
that's his best Santa Claus impression.
It's taking it out of play. It's going to be a throw for St. Augustine. So we are into added on time now. We've already completed just about a minute and a half of added on time. This is Ferdinand, but he loses out to Brusco. Miller trying to get it wide. Goes to Piper, couldn't get rid, and in fact, good sliding tackle from Miller onto the boot of Piper. Goes out for a throw for the Tigers.
Well, a lot of what's been wrong for St. Anthony's today is down to their own doing. We talked about the tempo of the game not being correct. We talked about, of course, some of the decision making in the final third has not been correct as well. And all of that, guys, culminate into self-inflicted and not necessarily anything to do with the coach. I think more to do with the players' application or lack thereof of application, because we have a very good litmus test in St. Augustine and what they have shown here today.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yes.
See St. Augustine making another substitution. Both teams making a substitution.
I think for me, I'm very happy for Tacoma, the coach, because when you listen to his interview, he's almost throwing his hands in the air. But nevertheless, he's worked. He's worked on it.
The thing as well, Brent, he's got something to work with.
Yeah, that's the point.
This display here today, I think it'll give him a lot of encouragement and a lot of heart.
Yes. He has some material that he can actually make a good product out of, given time.
Now Delis is limping off, and the substitute goalkeeper has come on. But in the meantime, St. Anthony's with the throw.
This could be trouble. This could be trouble.
Oh, it's gone into the back of the net.
No, it's gone over.
I think it's gone over. Well, the St. Anthony's crowd, they were waking me up there. Because it seemed the keeper, give him credit though, he judged it well.
Yes.
He was backing, and certainly couldn't see another one like what happened to the St. Anthony's keeper, Germany. But what an introduction for the substitute keeper. Long ball played, and for once Cooper is not going to give chase. That's a good ball from Castang. Ball played in field, but it goes out. It's going to be a goal kick for St. Anthony's. So we in the final 30 seconds, and we're not sure what added on time the referee will add on to the added on time. Have to wait and see what happens there. This is Castang, is it? No, it's not. It's Alexander going up that left side. And O'Brien does well. Still O'Brien trying to get the better of Castang. He wins the throw. So we just about completing the 5 minutes of added on time that referee C.J. O'Brien had allowed. And we'll just wait and see if he adds anything on to that 5 minutes, because we did have 1 or 2 extra stoppages.
5 minutes extra.
No, he's called it a day. So it's the end of really an entertaining game. A game in which St. Anthony's got the better of St. Augustine by 3-2. And when you look back at this encounter, guys, it was real. It was a blood and thunder game in terms of both teams going at one another. You thought after the first 15 minutes St. Anthony's would rule the roost, but it was not to be.
Yes, it ended up turning out to be a hard-fought, nitty-gritty game. As Brent was saying, St. Anthony's didn't look the part of coming out of the blocks with that impetus and drive. But hopefully they put their heads to the wheel, settle down and pick it up going from here. But St. Augustine again, I must say, they can take away some good points from this game, and the coach can just move forward with a little more confidence.
Well, let's look at some of the highlights. This was the first chance by that man Wilson Wright, and he should have put it in the back of the net. But there goes Cooper. and had the shot, and the goalkeeper was scrambling to his right, and St. Anthony's, there was that ball. What was Telesford thinking? He tried to win the ball, but in so doing he passed it straight into the boot of Miller, who simply turned and put it away from the keeper, and just like that St. Anthony's went 1-0 up. But St. Augustine were not to be denied, because they kept fighting, they kept pushing, and this was that ball, another shot coming on target. But then this was the long ball played. Cooper in a tussle there with Callender. He got the better of Callender, and did he take his goal well? Just pushed it away from the keeper. There he goes. Keeper came, and Cooper just nestled it into the far corner of the net, and all of a sudden game was on. It was 1-0, and the long ball coming right across to Theo. O'Brien came to tackle, he slipped, and Theo went his merry way and then slotted it to the left of the keeper, Delise, and St. Anthony's regained the lead. It was now 2-1, and that's how they had gone into the half. 2-1, they were in the lead, and we started the second half, and suddenly St. Augustine, they came into their own. Ford, however, had a shot that was really well saved by Delise. He was at full stretch, and this was Ferdinand. He had a shot that just crept wide, and but all of a sudden, after all the good work St. Augustine put in, a mistake here by Ford, and away came Theo to score his second, and St. Augustine, now they were trailing by 3-1, and there was Theo getting the better of Piper. The ball, in fact, ricocheted off of him, and there is the celebration by Theo. But this was the free kick taken by Piper about at least 35 meters out, and the goalkeeper Germany just misjudged it. He may have thought it was going over the bar, didn't get a hand to it, and it nestled into the back of the net. And St. Augustine, with just about 5 minutes left, it was 3-2. So that's how it ended up. St. Anthony's win by 3-2. Let's have a look at the stats, Joel.
Yes, at the end of the game today, we see shots on goal, 23 St. Anthony's, 12 to St. Augustine. Shots on target, 13 to St. Anthony's, 6 to St. Augustine. Fouls, 7 St. Anthony's, 5 to St. Augustine. Yellow cards, 1 for St. Anthony's, 0 St. Augustine. Red cards even at 0. Offside, 4 in St. Anthony's, 0 to St. Augustine. Then there were the corners, 11 St. Anthony's, 4 to St. Augustine. And the saves, of course. St. Augustine keeper was the busier with 10 saves and 3 to St. Anthony's keeper.
So let's have a look at the Group A fixtures in round 4. Naparima come up against Speyside. That should be a good one. Carapachima East, they come up against St. Augustine. Pleasantville, they play Fatima College in Pleasantville. And St. Anthony's College, they've got a huge game against St. Benedict's College. So that is the Group A round 4 fixtures. Let's go down to Hans. He's got the man of the match with him.
Well, the man of the match, he was able to find the back of the net. Theo Crovador, congratulations to you. What was your mindset going into this game today?
Well, today we just come out and we were suffering an unfortunate loss in Wayside, and we just wanted to better the game, step up and prove ourselves.
Well, definitely you all proved yourselves. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to St. Anthony's College Tigers. Coach Tacoma Jones from St. Augustine, the Green Machine, unable to get the win today. Thoughts on today's game?
It was unlucky today. I thought the guys really gave an effort. They really worked hard. Halftime, I gave a talk. The guys were really down, but they came back out and they showed a fight, and that is all I could see. Progress from the next game.
All right, so how do you all prepare for the next game?
Next game, keep it compact. More shots on target, right? I was just watching at the stats, and I saw that we needed to be attacking more on the flanks. So the corner kicks, etc. We need to improve on those things.
All the best, Coach, as you all get ready to face Carapachima East Secondary. Winning Coach Daniel, well, the victory you would have wanted. Any observations from today's game?
Well, what I observed, the boys, they tried their best. Yeah. All right, and I have to continue teaching them to love the ball some more and believe in themselves.
Well, let's talk about the next game. You all are going up against a very informed St. Benedict's College. How do you prepare for that one?
Well, let's put football as 11v11, and the day of the game will tell the results of the match.
Well, congratulations to you, Coach. This is where we get ready to pull the curtains down on today. We thank you for watching the Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League. Now, Saturday, 24th of September, it's a holiday, so the games for Saturday will actually be played on Monday. So on Monday, 26th, we bring you the best of the best. We get ready for Naparima College, defending champions, going up against the leaders of the table, Speyside High School. So once again, this is where we bring the curtains down here at St. Anthony's College Ground. The Tigers running away with the 3 points and 3 goals, and St. Augustine Secondary, the Green Machine, able to get 1 inside. On behalf of the entire SportsMax team, we say thank you for watching. See you on the next game day.